So marriage advice from Dave Ramsey. Let's see if we agree.
Okay.
If you're going to be married to someone, you got to be able to give and take between the two of you and say, okay, we as a couple are going to develop a money philosophy, and we're going to develop a philosophy on how we deal with parents, on how we deal with kids, and how we deal with religion. And if you don't do that, you're not going to succeed in your marriage.
Yes.
I agree fully.
I agree.
100%. Those are the issues. How are you going to deal with your parents? We have a divorce that we're trying to save the marriage of and not have to go through divorce, that is having major issues with the wife dealing with her parents.
Yep.
Because of her parents.
Right.
And then we see plenty of times where they disagree about how they're handling their kids. We see the most about how they're handling money and money problems, which is why we recommend Financial Peace University by Dave Ramsey all day long for everybody. I've gone to that course myself. It's excellent. And you got to agree on religion. You got to agree on your values. You agree on those values, you're going to have a healthy marriage, and you can have a healthy marriage. And you have to be 100% all in at all times. You have to make intentional decisions that take into account the other person always from then on. That's what marriage really is.
You also have to agree about children too, like how you're going to raise your children.
Yeah.
Because if you're both on two different pages with that causes a lot of conflict in marriage. Well, and remember it like this. I mean, I'm a Christian, so God first, husbands next, children next.
Nope, forgot the wife. So.
Oh, well, for me.
Oh, for you.
Yeah, I'm talking about me.
Well, I would actually criticize that as like, because you also have to take care of you.
Well, yeah.
You can't just completely sacrifice yourself.
No, but I usually put that, I put myself under the kids.
Marriage thrives under the umbrella of protection from the Lord. The children thrive underneath the umbrella of protection of the marriage. The children have two umbrellas that they thrive under. And the people that hoist and exalt the children above the marriage always have problems.
Oh, yeah.
You can't
put kids before.
Yes. The kids, you have to take care of the marriage
I've
first.
actually had to learn that. It took many years for me to learn that. It was kind of a weird dynamic.
Well, it's not. It's somewhat counterintuitive.
Well, you have kids and, it's just one of those things. As a mother, you just like that motherly side of you. And then down the road, I had to realize like, no, it's actually, and I think it was more about, scripture and what God says. Because God does say, like when you get married, then that's when the cord between your parents breaks, and
right.
you and your spouse become one.
In the marriage ceremony, the father hands off the bride to the husband. It's not property type of thing,
right?
But it's a responsibility type of thing.
Absolutely.
And it's a relationship type of thing. Father was the protector, and now the husband, part of the role that's there.
Right.
It's not that they're lesser important either.
No.
It's that there are things that men do and there are things that women do. There's differences in the job descriptions, but neither job is more important than the other. Neither person is more important.
I think people have a misunderstanding too. It doesn't mean that you can't still honor your parents. It doesn't mean that you can't still help your parents and be there for your parents.
Yep.
But you have to not allow your parents into your marriage.
Correct.
Your parents cannot tell you what to do. And
Correct.
Do not overshare with your parents.
That's
you
true.
have a fight with your spouse. Don't go running to your parents and bashing your spouse.
Correct. Because their protective
causes
instinct is going to come in and it's going to be a problem.
Right.
And you're using your parents as a crutch rather than dealing with the problem with your spouse.
Right.
And you need to hang in there and work out that problem with your spouse.
Right. Unless you're in a situation where you're being abused or whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Then, yes, go to your parent.
My rule with violence is it ends the marriage immediately. However, people do have free choice. And if you're going to give a second chance, there is one and only one tolerable second chance. If it happens again, it must be done. And if not, shame on you.
Right.
Heavy, heavy shame on you. You should have had enough shame. If I ever hit my wife or my wife actually hit me, I'm pretty sure the marriage would be over. Maybe if she slapped me once, maybe if I really deserved it, maybe once. It would be a never, ever going to happen again. And my wife and I it hasn't even entered our lexicon.
Right.
Ever. So it's hard for me to personally imagine that. But my rule as an attorney is any violence, I don't try and save the marriage. But one of the problems that we have is the more the violence has occurred, the less likely it is.
They start to believe like there are abusive women or even men. They start to believe like, oh, it's my fault. I deserve that, blah, 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 blah.
And
They
it's
make
not.
excuses.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because the subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if it's not.
Right.
And the known danger
Or
is less scary than the unknown safety.
Well, or they make up in their heads that,
Right.
oh, they're never going to do that again.
Yeah,
oh,
they are. Or they're sorry.
They told me they're
and they
sorry.
get into this
Yeah.
negative
And it doesn't
feedback
happen
cycle,
for a few
downward
months,
spiral.
and then it happens again. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the Lawyer Dana Show.